Arlo and his grandma Lara moved into an old house on a hill. It had creaky floors and dusty windows, but Grandma Lara said it had character. Arlo felt a different kind of character, a cold, quiet one. Soon, strange things began to happen. Arlo would hear soft whispers when no one was around, like secrets trying to escape the walls. Sometimes, a cold breeze would sweep through a room, even with the windows closed. "It's just the old house settling, dear," Grandma Lara would say, patting his hand. She tried to ignore the odd sounds and the way the shadows seemed to stretch a little too long in the corners. But the whispers grew louder, and the cold spots became colder. One evening, Arlo saw a shimmering, faint outline of a small, sad figure in the hallway mirror. He gasped. Grandma Lara rushed over. "What is it, Arlo?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. Even she couldn't deny the chill that now filled the air. "There's something here, Grandma," Arlo whispered. "Something sad." Grandma Lara looked around the old house, truly seeing it for the first time, not just as a house, but as a place holding a story. They decided to search for clues. In the dusty attic, tucked away in an old chest, they found a small, worn wooden toy and a faded, tiny drawing of a child. Grandma Lara remembered an old tale from the town about a child who had lived in this house long ago. A child who had been left alone too often. A child whose sadness had never truly left. "We must remember them," Grandma Lara said softly, her voice filled with kindness. "We must acknowledge their story, so their sadness can finally rest." They placed the toy and drawing on a small table with a single flickering candle. From that day on, the whispers faded and the cold spots vanished. The house still creaked, but now it felt warm and peaceful. Arlo and Grandma Lara knew that by facing the past with kindness, they had brought healing, not just to the house, but to their own hearts too. In the dusty quiet of the attic, nestled amongst forgotten treasures, a small girl named Elara found an old doll. Her button eyes seemed to twinkle, but a faint, unsettling smile played on her painted lips. Elara carefully brushed away the dust, admiring the doll's worn dress and tangled hair. "I'll call you Cinder," she whispered, holding her close. From that moment, Cinder was always by her side, her gaze unwavering. Soon, little things began to happen. A favorite book would fall from the shelf when no one was near. A tiny, tinkling laugh would echo from empty corners. Elara just giggled, thinking it was her imagination, or perhaps Cinder playing tricks. But the tricks grew bolder. A beloved toy train, usually sturdy, suddenly derailed and shattered. Elara's parent, Riz, noticed the strange occurrences, but dismissed them as coincidences, or just Elara being clumsy. Elara herself started to change. Her bright laughter became less frequent, replaced by a quiet, knowing smirk. She spent hours whispering secrets to Cinder, her eyes holding a strange, distant gleam. One stormy night, as lightning flashed, Elara saw it. Cinder's button eyes, usually dull, glowed with a faint, eerie light. The doll's painted smile seemed to stretch, just for a moment, into something far too wide. The next morning, a small, precious family heirloom, a delicate music box, was found shattered on the floor. Riz finally felt a chill, a prickle of unease that wasn't just the cold. This was no accident. That doll. Riz began picking up Cinder. I think she needs to go back to the attic. But Elara's eyes, once so innocent, hardened. She snatched Cinder back, a fierce, protective snarl on her face. As Elara clutched Cinder, the doll seemed to shudder, its painted features twisted, and a low, guttural chuckle seemed to emanate from its small form. Elara smiled, a chilling echo of Cinder's own unnatural grin. The innocence was gone, replaced by a quiet, unsettling darkness. Cinder had found her perfect vessel, and Elara, once a beacon of light, now held a secret that would forever cast a long, cold shadow over their home. Lyra loved old things, not just old, but unique. She spent her weekends rummaging through dusty antique shops, searching for treasures that whispered tales of forgotten times. Her apartment was a museum of her finds, each piece a silent testament to her passion. One gloomy afternoon, tucked away in a dimly lit corner of a shop she'd never seen before, she found it, a magnificent, antique mirror with an intricately carved frame. Beside it, almost hidden, lay a matching necklace, its pendant a dark, shimmering stone. The shopkeeper, a man with eyes like polished obsidian, watched her from the shadows. "A fine choice, young lady," Silas rasped, his voice like dry leaves skittering across pavement. "They are a set, you see, bound together. They choose their owner, not the other way around." Lyra, too enchanted to heed his strange words, bought them both. Back home, Lyra hung the mirror in her bedroom and clasped the necklace around her neck. It felt heavy, a comforting weight. She admired her reflection, feeling a surge of confidence she hadn't known before. The mirror seemed to shimmer, reflecting her newfound glow. But as days turned into nights, subtle changes began. The mirror's reflections sometimes seemed off, a fleeting shadow behind her, a flicker of a different room, a face that wasn't hers. She'd blink and it would be gone, leaving her to wonder if she'd imagined it. The necklace, too, felt different. When she wore it, she felt powerful, untouchable. She dismissed friends, ignored calls, convinced they were jealous of her unique finds, her newfound aura. The world outside her apartment seemed dull, irrelevant. One evening, the mirror showed her a reflection of herself, but her eyes were cold, her smile a cruel twist. Behind her, the room was dark and decaying, filled with cobwebs and forgotten dust. A whisper, faint but clear, echoed from the glass. "Mine." Panic seized her. She ripped the necklace from her neck, the dark stone burning her skin. The mirror's reflection flickered, showing her true self again, pale and terrified. But the necklace, now on the floor, pulsed with a faint, malevolent light. She tried to smash the mirror, but her hand passed through the glass, as if it were mist. She tried to throw the necklace away, but it reappeared on her bedside table. The objects weren't just objects. They were anchors, binding her to a subtle, creeping dread. Lyra understood then. Her obsession with material things had opened a door to something sinister. The safe and mundane had become a source of dread, a constant reminder Evil could lurk in the most overlooked places. She was trapped, not by chains, but by the very objects she had so eagerly desired.